We all have to navigate this world differently, whether it's because of our race, our gender, our age, sexual orientation, or something that we don't talk about a whole lot, our weight. I have two ladies joining me today, DEVON Douglas and BRIA Lewis, to talk about body positivity. In today's episode of Risha Talks, we are going to talk about body positivity because we know that people don't give obese people, overweight people, fat people, whatever you want to call them, they don't get the respect that they deserve. So I want to talk to two women who are rocking their weight. I have with me BRIA and DEVON. Welcome, ladies.
Hello, thank you.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Definitely. Thank you so much for being here. So I just want to jump into it. Tell me a little bit about how you describe your physical appearance. And BRIA, we can start with you.
I would describe my physical appearance as a curvaceous plus size woman who just owns everything. Like, some people will try to say I'm obese or whatever, but it's not for them to say. I'm just plus size, plump, curvaceous body.
I love it. DEVON, what about you?
I describe my physical appearance as a dark-skinned, natural-haired, black, as Alice Walker would say, fat woman. I'm fat. There's no sugarcoating that. No pun intended, I guess. I think that obese is one of those words that is clinical, and overweight makes it seem like there is a weight to be over, right? There's all of these descriptions, and they, to me, all have some type of negative or judgmental connotation, but fat doesn't. I'm fat, and that's that on that. And that's not positive or negative. That's just the state that my body is in, and I'm comfortable with that.
Okay, DEVON, you use the word fat. And from my perspective and from, growing up and the narrative that I heard, that was more of a derogatory term. So when did that change, or have you just always felt like that?
It's changed in recent years. There's a fat acceptance movement, body positivity movement, which unbeknownst to people now, I guess, because it's been going on for a while. It doesn't just mean like everybody's body is great. Like that's not where it was born out of. It was born out of fat acceptance. And I think it's one of those things like there are women who feel more comfortable nowadays using words like even things like spinster to describe themselves that previously would have been considered negative. It's taking control of the narrative when describing yourself. And it's also for me, typically coupled with people first language. I'm a person that's fat, right? I'm not just a fatty, right? Like that's calling me a fatty versus like describing me as a person who is fat are two totally different things. I think it's intention that's behind it. And then also I'm saying it as opposed to, some fitness model saying, look at that fat person over there. I think those are different intentions. I don't know, BRIA, if you have the same experience with the word though.
For me, with that experience of the word, I actually call myself fatty with PH, ATTY.
Oh yeah.
On Instagram and things like that as just like a little nickname. But that's only because after watching the movie Fat Girls, honestly, that movie with Monique inspired a lot because I am pretty hot and thick, okay? You're not gonna tell me I'm not. It's like I'm gonna own all of that. So I used to get bullied a lot when people used to call me fat, and I'm like, it made me feel some kind of way, and I didn't accept that word a lot, and I didn't accept the word obese. It's just like, why are y'all putting this on me? Like, I'm fat, I know it. I look at myself every day, but I'm a fatty because I'm cute. I'm a fatty because I own everything about me. Like, I am pretty hot and thick, and y'all gonna know it regardless.
Know me, yes.
I love it. I love it. So tell me a little bit about the narratives that you grew up with. Like, what did you learn about being fat and maybe how that would shape your life?
Well, for me growing up, fat. I I went to a school in Chicago where I got bullied a lot for me being fat, because at that time I wasn't even fully what they would say fat, or I don't know why people deem kids as fat just because they have a chunkier middle, but they grow up, they get taller, their weight expands, so they're not really fat. And then we put these things on them, and people are calling me fat just because my stomach was a little bit bigger, but I also had thick thighs and stuff like that, but it wasn't fat, it was muscle. That's like, if you see the women in my family, they're shaped curvaceous, like they have thick thighs, wide hips, and my daddy's last name is Hips. So like I expect us to have some hips or something. Like, but people would just, it made me feel really bad about myself, honestly, at a young age. It made me feel really bad. It took a long time for me to be confident in myself, because moving from Chicago, people that knew me, they were calling me fat, and I couldn't stand up for myself. I didn't have a sense of confidence and a backbone to just really stand up for myself. Then I moved to Oklahoma, and I'm like, none of these people know me. Y'all call me fat all y'all want to, but I'm a whole different person, and I have to be renewed. And it was just still kind of a sort of finding myself. And when I did find myself, I found myself in high school. And so it was just like, okay, I'm learning that I like these kind of things. I'm learning that I can have a balance of being girly or being toned down, and I don't have to fit into these narratives of people, because either way, I'm still gonna get attention. My mama keep telling me I'm cute. My family members keep telling me I'm cute and I'm beautiful. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're so photogenic," and I'm just like, so it helped my self-esteem, and it helped build the confidence that they saw in me that I didn't have. I had like a fake confidence, but they all saw that I had something of this before I even had it. So it's like, if these people plant these seeds into you, you gonna get it. You finally gonna own it. And it's just, it helped me flower into a person that will own the word fat, fatty. And you can't tell me that, oh, just because you fat, okay, say something else. You can't tell me I'm ugly. You can't tell me my hygiene is bad. Like, all these things like that, because people think if you're fat, you have bad hygiene, all you do is eat. People used to think I love Twinkies. I hate Twinkies. That is disgusting. But they think fat people love Twinkies. I'm like, no, that's not it. Think I just eat all the time? That's not it.
Devon, what was your narrative?
Growing up, my family was, it's cute when you're fat and you're 3, right? And you're 4. You get to kindergarten and it starts to be, oh, look, that baby needs to do some jumping jacks.
Mhm.
It was never, not from adults, it was never outright insults about my body as a child. It was passive aggressive suggestions. It was, are you sure you need another slice of pie? It was, ooh, those pants fit a little tight, baby. Even as a kid, I was a little girl, like between the ages of 3 and 7. My nickname was Big Mama D. I was a kid, like, you know. Also a part of the narrative that I think people ignore for especially fat Black girls, is the hypersexualization and just, or period, the sexualization of Black girls. When you are a fat kid, chunky, chubby, what have you, you may develop breasts sooner than your classmates, or booty, or hips, or whatever, thighs. And that draws attention from disgusting adults. And so that sexualization and kind of that like damage of innocence was there from the words that I heard from people. So that was a great part of my narrative as well. But also a part of the narrative, I don't know what it's like for other people in other cultures, but I can say the way I grew up in the Midwest and the Mid South, I don't know what other people call playing the dozens, joning, picking fun. I got made fun of, but I became very good at doing it as well. So it builds a defense mechanism. And it builds kind of a creativity, I don't know, for better or for worse, if you ever see me and you want to get into an argument or you want to start taking verbal jabs, you might want to quit before you start because I got a lot of practice. We got 30 some years of practice on that now. So that's been a part of my narrative that oh, and the other big thing that is still very true, people still say to this day, I've had people say it to me in the last week, you're so pretty. But if only you would just lose a little more weight. Like I've had men tell me, I'd marry you if you weren't fat. I would love you if you didn't look like this. Oh, if you would just, oh, if you could just, oh, I like the bottom half of you. It's just the top half of your stomach. Oh, girl. I'm like, you know what? Move around because this big body, let me tell you something. Every episode of my 600-pound life, every single one of those people are chose. They be 700 pounds and be married and in love. So you're not going to tell me at 290 pounds that I can't get chose and I can't be loved. Okay. And people be washing they up underneaths and they over and unders and they are loved. Okay. So y'all not going to worry me at 300 pounds about how fat I am. You're just not going to do it, honey. It's just not real.
Devon, you better come on through with it. Come through with it.
Realistic.
Now, I'm going to say this for the skinny women in the world, because we're talking about body positivity. And I know y'all like to drag skinny women, but I grew up with the same thing. It's just much of a problem when you can't put weight on as when you have too much weight on. So you're bullied. People ask me all the time if I need to eat. I hated that. So I know body positivity goes both ways, and we just need to respect people for being who they are and stay out of their business. But I want to ask this: what do you love about yourself now? Devon, let's start with you.
Oh my gosh. I love that I am so strong physically. Over the last year, I've lost about 110 pounds. I can, I'm at the point now where I do my miles in about 15 minutes. So that's a 4 miles an hour. I'm there now. I lift weights. I have on this getup because as soon as we close this down, I'm headed right to the gym. It's arm day today. Looking forward to it. So that's on the physical side, but there are things about my body that lend itself to other things. So for example, my body protects people. My body is a place where I can retreat and find comfort, and where other people can retreat and find comfort in my arms. People will tell you I'm not a hugger. So if I offer you a hug, if I envelop you, that is really coming from a place of love. And I'm literally a soft place to land. I love that about my body. Even as I lose weight, I always want to be soft. I like being soft. I like being gentle while still being strong, especially as a Black woman and a fat Black woman who can be either hypersexualized or be considered asexual, right? Like the mammy stereotype. It's really nice to be able to have a wide range of emotions and recognize that and showcase that. I also I like the color of my skin. I have white sheets. I always have white sheets. I love my dark skin against white sheets. I love my dark skin against bright colors. I really like my booty. I have a beautiful body. And the girl, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Sitting up right. So shout out to my mom and dad for that. So I really like my body. I'm a pear shape. I'm beautiful. And I love all the things I can do. I can hug, I can heal, I can fight. I can do lots of other things, and I'm proud of those things, and I'm nurturing those things in me. So I don't know. I actually low key, I feel bad for literally anyone who doesn't get to be my friend. I'm like, you don't get to be in my presence, honey. Like, you don't get to enjoy all of this. Oh, I really hate it for you. So I love me. I absolutely love me. So.
And we can tell, and I love you for that. BRIA, what about you? What do you love about you?
Honestly, I love everything about me, even from the physical to the mental to the creativity, because it's just, I am more than just my body, like too many people try to just make it about my body. Too many people be like, oh yeah, because you're a big girl, you're supposed to have big boobs. Nah, I don't. I got the regular size. I got regular size, but it's okay. Like it's still there, but still, like, don't try to tell me, as a big girl I'm supposed to have these things. But I love everything about me. I love my shape. I love, like, my body amazes me all the time. Like just how you were talking about with you working out, I'd be amazed. I could be on the elliptical and run a mile in 10 minutes. Okay. Like I can do this. Hey, I have more endurance. I have more stamina. Like I'm just able to withstand more. Like, if I wanted to be out here, I'm not easily taken under the influence of things. Like if I did decide to go have a drink, I'm not just super drunk immediately. Like people that has less weight, I can actually enjoy myself and not be sloppy or anything like that. That's just something fun. But I just love everything about me. I love how full my face is. I love how, like, I can still look like I'm a child, and even though I'm in my mid-20s, like I still get ID'd. People think I'm 16 times. But I love my skin tone as well. Like I love how my summer color is a different color and my winter color is a different color. I love how thick my thighs is. I love how I can, like, put my hands in between my legs and warm them up. Like, when it get cold outside. Just things like that. I just really love myself. Like I love that I have a loud laugh. I love that it comes from the center. I can feel all of those things.
That's
I can feel the emotions running through me. And some people don't have I would say the luxury of going through those things or finding themselves, because of everybody else just tells them that they're this and they're that. And so they don't have to humble themselves. Like big girls, we have to humble ourselves a lot because people keep trying to tell us about who we supposed to be, what we should be. But no, like when I retreat into myself, I found out that I'm better than anything that you were trying to tell me. So I just love everything about me, and that's just that.
And that's that on that.
I want to thank both of you so much for your honesty, for your candor, for your humor. And for the folks watching this, if you don't know, now you know. Thank you. Loving yourself is a journey. Whether you're my size or the size of these two ladies, we all have to learn that we are beautiful. This is Risha Grant with 2 Works for You.